Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Jianu, Pakhair Ragale, Ni hao, Chunashume, Washmale, Ohio Gazaimas, Guten Morgen, Ola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifahar, and a very amazing Khush Ahmadid to everybody who's tuned into PT World and are watching World this morning alongside the very amazing Maha Makhdoom and Shahzad Khan. Hello, Maha. How are you today?
Hello, Shahzad. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm good, thank you. Actually, I feel like I forgot my own earpiece, so I've
Yeah.
got another earpiece in my ear, and it's so big, I feel like a bit thrown off by all of it because my hearing has really gone bad on one
Well,
side.
so I think that, for the next time, you're not actually going to miss out on anything or you're not going to leave anything at home.
I hope not.
Because I think with this sentiment, I can relate because whenever I used to go to school, and for example, if it was a biology lecture and I've forgotten the book, my teacher actually used to tell me, why did you forget your own self then? And I was like, well, that's something my parents do not let me do.
Exactly, but I will try and remember all my things. Because when you're moving things around over the weekend and you're moving
And it's
things
just
one
so
bag.
small too as well.
Exactly, it's tiny. But anyway, apart from that, Shazad, how are you? How are you feeling? Because you're not very well today.
Yeah, I'm not very well, and it's just because of the fact, and I think that it is a very important message which I wanted to give out to
Yes.
people as well. That yesterday after the show, I actually had to step out of the city for some work, and what happened was that I was feeling hungry. So on my way, while I was on motorway, I actually ate one of the burgers they have on these marts.
Okay.
And as soon as I ate that burger, I knew that it wasn't very nice thing to do with my own self, and I could feel halfway that I've messed up my own self and my own health. And please, people, wherever you go, do not buy these. I mean, for example, if it's like a branded franchise, if it's like a fast food thing, go eat that, because while you're driving, while you're traveling, you do feel hungry. But do
Absolutely.
not get these burgers and sandwiches which do not even have a label on that, because you don't know what they're making you eat.
Yeah, you have to be careful out there because there are a lot of people who don't actually care too much about the hygiene and the kind of the way they're storing
Yeah,
these foods. So be
because I
careful.
think, Maha, that the burger only costed around 100 rupees, but as soon as it came back, I had to go to the doctor. It almost costed me 3,000 rupees, so
Okay.
it's not worth it.
Exactly. Prevention is better than cure. And on that note, we have a wonderful show lined up for you. We have to share with you the happenings around the world. Let's take a look at what's happening around the world and within Pakistan, and then we will start our day.
Let's do it. An Android smartphone billed as being almost impossible to bend by hand has been added to Nokia's lineup alongside a simpler slider model that plays on nostalgia for the 1990s. The flagship Nokia and Sirocco features a steel frame and lays claim to being one of the toughest models on the market. And Sirocco indeed was one of my favorite models from Nokia.
Okay, I've never heard of Sirocco.
Yeah, it was silver in color and you can slide it up and down. There was no
Wow.
WhatsApp in it back in those days.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
But it's already bent though.
And China's telecommunications giant Huawei launched its new MateBook X Pro laptop, the world's first edge-to-edge touchscreen laptop, on the eve of the opening of the 2018 Mobile World Congress in Barcelona.
Wow.
Or Barcelona. MateBook. That's interesting.
Members of the Chinese community in Sao Paulo performed traditional dragon dances and put on kung fu martial arts displays to celebrate the dawning of the Lunar New Year. Happy New Year. Karachi Kings beat Lahore Qalandars by 27 runs in the 8th match of Pakistan's Super League 2018 at Dubai Cricket Stadium. Karachi Kings are doing a great job. I mean, it's their third match which they have won. Wow, fabulous. I
Who
don't
are
know
you
what's...
supporting?
Well, I think that, I'm only going to support Karachi over here because Lahore, I think, is going to come back. So if there's anybody who needs anything from Dubai,
And finally, renowned mountaineer Samina Beg has been appointed as a National Goodwill Ambassador for Pakistan by the United Nations Development Programme.
wow, way to go.
Well done.
Well done, Samina.
She's doing a great job.
And even her brother, I think they make a good team.
Absolutely.
All right,
Excellent.
ladies and gentlemen, these were the top stories. But now, whatever we're going to talk about is actually not for the faint-hearted, because I
It's
think it
not,
is.
is it?
I think it's
It's not
very.
scary.
It is very scary. It is very dangerous. And if you have people who love you, I don't think that they will allow you to do this.
Well, to be honest, they don't allow us to do a lot of things. Unless you're a doctor, lawyer, or architect, I think, or engineer. I think parents kind of tend to worry. But as you know, that we always have been trying to find different walks of life that people have decided to go down, the different paths they've chosen. And within Pakistan, there's always people that are pushing the boundaries, across the globe, people all have already done these things, they're kind of venturing out there, going into uncharted territory, kind of, exploring God, if you believe in religion, which most people do within Pakistan, what God has given us and what He's blessed us with. And so there's people taking the Pakistani name forward, they're also pushing themselves and also showing the rest of the youth within the country that there is lots of opportunities out there and lots of different career paths one can take.
Exactly, but to push your own self underwater or probably, within caves filled with water is very dangerous because, ladies and gentlemen, quite a lot of divers have lost their lives because, we weren't able to find them while they were diving. And to be an underwater photographer, it is very difficult while you're photographing sharks,
Yeah,
20 feet long. I mean, imagine. How would you feel like in front of them? Oh, okay, the shark's coming, and you have to be focused on what kind of framing you have got. So we have been joined by
Yes.
a Pakistani underwater photographer, a Pakistani cave diver, and a Pakistani shark photographer too as well, ladies and gentlemen. We have been joined by Sayyid Faisal Raza. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm good. How about yourself?
We're good, and we're really excited for you to be here because I've watched so many documentaries, and we've never had anyone who's done this on the show before. So welcome to the show, and
Thank
thank
you
you for
so
being
much.
here. And you've also set a lot of records for the Pakistan Book of Records as well. So
Right.
we will discuss all of that. But first of all, I think Shahzad,
Yeah.
Shahzad is a bit baffled by all
Why?
this, so I will let you ask the first
yeah,
question.
because for example, if you got a family and you know that they love you, they won't actually let you do that. So how did you got into it?
You know what? Especially for my family, whenever I go for a new venture, I never told my family. When I
Okay.
get back to home, then I told everything to them.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Okay, so that's how it's done, and that's how they probably
Right.
No, but this
let
is
you
a
do
big
it.
camera. Whenever you're leaving your home with the camera, they know where you're going.
They don't know about that,
Okay.
because all the time I keep this camera bag in my car, in my trunk, so
Okay.
they don't really know about that.
Okay, so that's one. Let's put the family stuff aside. We will ask a little bit more about that in a bit.
Right.
But let's ask how you got into underwater photography and tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, actually, I grew up, I born and raised in Faisalabad city, which is the third or fourth largest city of Pakistan, and in 2012, I moved to United States in April 2012, and then at that time, I had nothing to do, and in 2013, mid 2013, I was sitting on my laptop and I was searching some social media stuff, what's going on in social media, and all of a sudden, I've seen one advertisement from the underwater photographers, and they were from America or from Britain. So that was the turning point of my life,
Okay.
So that was the moment. So I was then I tried to search any Pakistani underwater photographer, even cave diver, but unfortunately, even from Pakistan or India, I didn't find anyone.
Okay, interesting.
And yeah, so that because from which town I came from, Faisalabad, there's no swimming facilities, there's no sea, there's no river, and I never seen sea in my life. Maybe when I was a child, I've seen one time.
Okay.
But we do have canals in Faisalabad, though.
Right. These are a little bit canal, but not scuba diving facility
Yeah.
and
No,
such
of
like
course.
this kind of stuff,
Okay,
And
interesting.
then I start thinking about what is the first phase, what is the first step, and what should I do? And then I start searching on YouTube, on a Google, and the first phase was swimming, and I never swim in my life, and then I went close to my shop, the scuba diving shop, and they told me that you need to learn swimming classes.
That's where I was coming.
Right,
Yeah.
and that was a challenge for me because in America the people they used to swim in a child when like 3 or 4 years old age, and then I start taking swimming classes. It took like 6 months.
Okay, that's quick.
Yeah, it was quick. Yeah, that's true. because I put my effort, I put my strength, everything on this, because
And you did this trade, you did the swimming, you started all of this stuff in Americas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that too in 2013.
2013, that was the beginning of my journey, towards underwater. And the second phase, once they once they've seen everything that I'm a good swimmer right now, and what is the requirement, the next step for the scuba diving, they told me, okay, you're good to go for second phase, which is scuba diving.
Okay.
And then I start taking scuba diving classes, which took like that took like 3 to 4 months to become a scuba diver. And unfortunately, I didn't pass for two time, because I had last chance that time. And if I didn't pass the last time, and then I have to wait more 3 or 4 years for.
So you even have to pass.
Oh, yeah, I didn't pass.
Is it like an examination or something?
Oh yeah, they go with they go in the ocean, and the final stage is that I have to jump in the ocean, and they check my skills, how I'm comfortable in the water, and what's the technique, what's the skills with that.
And so let's expand on that a little bit, just for everyone who's watching, is that there are actual courses, there's actual like studying that you have to do, because it's like you said in the beginning that it's not safe at times, and you need to know all the different
Exactly. They have some stops, they have some signs,
because what we have seen over here in Lahore or Faisalabad or a few parts of Punjab is that anybody can dive anywhere. They do not even ask whether, and you are not even supposed to ask anybody. You're just supposed to dive in. So okay, then what happened? So it was your last
Then
chance.
2 times I failed, and then I came back at home, and I talked to my mom and about everything. I have a last chance, and I should do it at any cost. And she prayed for me, and I kissed her feet, and then I start. Then I went in a third time in the ocean, and I'm thanked to God. I'm so blessed that I made it at the third
Okay,
time.
and then you thought that okay, now probably I need to capture the moments and how it is.
Not
being
really,
underwater,
because
no?
they told me that okay, you're good to go. They issue me a license for 60 feet down for 60 feet, and then they told me that for the professional camera you have to have a good buoyancy control device once you get in the water. Buoyancy control device is a BCD you put on the jacket, something like that. It's just like a car. If you are driving first day, and if you're driving after 1 month, then you can feel the difference.
Okay. In regards to when you were getting the lessons as well, before that, how long did it take after the lessons, and how deep can you go now? Like, what's the
right
depth?
now, right now I have a open water advanced certification, which is like I can go up to 160 feet.
For the open water next.
Yeah, so I down like 170 feet right now.
Wow.
So why do you have a camera which can go down to 200 feet?
Because that camera, that housing, I recently bought it, and the aquatic life is honestly, if you go more deeper than 175, then it's getting dark in the ocean. So that's average. The diver, they dive from maximum 200.
So how do you feel?
Wait, before we ask any more questions, let's share some images, because I feel like we all need to have a look, and so do our viewers. So let's look at some of the images from our guest.
Very amazing, in fact. Wow. So that's at 170 feet?
Actually, it was 100 feet.
That was just 100 feet?
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
It's a special kind of fish, like different kind of fishes. And
Wow.
Yeah.
So can you zoom in and zoom out with this camera too?
Yeah, actually we dive 3 times, and we have to change, I have to change 3 times my lenses, one for the macro photography, for the close-ups, the other for the other dive I use the wide lens, and for the third dive I use normal lens.
So every time you have to go up and then you have to come down.
Exactly. The captain give us a time for like 20-30 minutes, and then we have to switch over our stuff, lenses and everything.
Okay, so that was all. So you started your journey for swimming and to learn how to go diving and all of the scuba diving. But then, how long have you been in photography for? Because that's also, I mean, you need to know the frames. You need to know all of that. So underwater, it's a whole new world, as the Little Mermaid said.
Like I told you that in 2013, when I started taking swimming classes, before that I searched everywhere. I didn't find any photographer.
Yeah.
But my photography was started in September 12, 2014. Okay. That was the historic day for me and for my country, Pakistan too. I went in the ocean with my country flag and I did sajda to Allah, you know, that time, and it was excitement for me, and that was the
We're excited
historical
about that
moment.
too
Yeah,
as well.
historical
Okay,
moment.
but no, what I want to know is that, so in order to, so for all the viewers out there, like, how long does it take to learn about photography, especially if it's underwater as well? I mean,
It
what's
takes
the
at
learning
least
process?
minimum 6 months.
Okay.
Right.
Because
The
first
more
of
you're
all-
gonna the more you're gonna dive,
Yeah.
the more you're gonna comfortable in the water, and you have to then you can get a good grip. Then you can hold a good grip on the camera, especially this kind
Because
of
I
camera.
think first of all
Interesting camera.
you have to look after with all of that oxygen
s-
tanks and whatnot, and then
Right.
you have to hold the camera, and then you need to know the camera and the switches and whatnot, and going up and going down. I think it's quite a lot of hassle, no?
Oh yeah, it is. You know, you have to have good skills with you, and especially because I got in trouble 2 times in the ocean. you know.
What
What
happened?
happened?
I missed my license was 60 feet, and I tried to hold one rock, but unfortunately I slept, and then I was getting down. I was ascending. I was descending, and my American colleague, and he came over and he rescued me that time. You know.
So what do you mean? How come you couldn't
you were
go back
drowning?
up?
Huh?
You must
Yeah, I
have
was
drowned.
drowning. Yeah,
Wait, how were you drowning? Wait, I don't understand what happened.
because the basic.
So you're
thing-
holding the rock,
Yeah, I was trying to holding the rope, but I got slept.
You slipped?
Yeah, I slipped,
but
and
why couldn't you swim up?
Because
that
it was
time
weight.
that was a new time for me, you know. So
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about
So you
back in
just got
2 years
panicked.
ago. Yeah, I got panicked.
You were like, I
Scary.
don't know what to do now. Hey.
Oh
Right,
gosh.
and my American mentor, he came over and he saved my life.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But this is one thing I've always wanted to go diving, and I almost did last year in January, but then I didn't get time. But that's my biggest fear, that, you know, because once things go wrong underwater, it's like
I think snorkeling is just better. You know, just 2 feet down, you know, looking at the fish, and that's it.
Right.
No, now let's come to a point where it all started with sharks.
oh yes. let's
Yeah,
go with it.
Yeah.
3 months ago, I went in Mexico, and I made the third record for Pakistan as a first shark photographer back in 2017, November 2017.
So you went for the sharks, or they just appeared?
I went for because before going
You go
the
into the
shark.
places where the sharks are.
The
Yeah.
shark migration is a specific month. They came over that island, which is 250 miles from San Diego, and I went there through ship, through charter,
Yeah.
and it took like 22 hours to get there.
Okay.
And,
ship?
On ship, yeah. And let me tell you what happened when
Did
we
you
were
got
getting back.
seasickness and something?
Oh yeah, we take we take pills before after like 24 hours before.
Okay.
Wow.
And that pill saves our seasickness, you know.
Okay. So tell us what happened.
When we went there, because there's the island name is Guadalupe Island, Mexico.
I've heard of it.
Right, that island is famous with the white shark, and white sharks comes from August through November for 3 to 4 months. Their migration period just start from there, and the shark goes for 40 kilometer per hour, 40 kilometer per hour, and the 200 or 250 sharks come together from different islands on a one space. I'm talking about the Guadalupe Island. So we were not allowed to go on the land, and we stick around with the ship charter for 3 or 4 days, and because at the island on the island there are so many scientists over there, and they are researching for the white shark. They put a tag on the shark, a wing, and they are seeing the behavior and what's going on with the shark.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay,
what
and
I
then,
have seen.
You know, oh, sorry, just want to say, like, those documentaries, you know, like David Attenborough's Blue Planet and stuff. And I think I was watching one of them where there was a whole, like, congregation of all these different fish and sharks from
Yeah,
different
I've
places.
even seen film of this sort as well, where the sharks actually come into their, you know, this area which they have, and it's all caged.
You
and
should
then-
watch the 47-meter down movie.
Yeah,
47
I
meters
think
down.
that's what
Right.
it was. That
That's
was
the
name
movie.
of
That's the
film.
things I did, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
so
but other than
there's
you know,
the
having
selection for obvious.
250 sharks at the same time,
Average 250 sharks.
any ordinary human is like a steak underwater. So how do you avoid getting eaten or bitten by these sharks?
We got in the cage, and the
Yeah.
cage saves our lives, you know. But they touch the cage, they hit the cage sometimes, and we rocked, you know, like once they hit that cage.
But how did it feel to be surrounded by all these sharks? It must be
And
amazing.
let me share one interesting thing with you.
Yes.
The female white shark is dominant with the male shark.
Yeah.
So male shark is always under the female shark.
Okay.
Right, and the longest travel shark, the scientists, the searcher that the shark start from the South Africa, and she went in Australian island, which was like 9,000 miles in 100 days.
Oh, wow.
So she traveled 100 days to get there.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Animal, like these, you know, the creatures on this planet are amazing. And also one fact, I was actually reading this yesterday. Sharks have a bad reputation. They don't, you know, they don't automatically go for humans. It's, you know, they're either curious or they're just seeing what's around. So they, you know, there is a misconception that they just keep attacking human beings because of all the films out there. and
Well,
stuff
even
as
if it's a misconception or not,
scary.
I seriously do not want to be closer to sharks.
Nor do I. I would never do
I mean,
that.
even if I was a photographer, I would actually be a bridal photographer, not a shark photographer.
And
But
my-
other than that,
Scary.
My next encounter is coming with the crocodile
Oh, wow.
in Cuba in September.
I feel like crocodiles are more scary than sharks.
Oh yeah, they are so dangerous. They are not a friendly
well,
animal,
at least
actually.
you can tame crocodiles, but you cannot
Can
tame
you?
sharks. Yeah, I've seen all of these people in Thailand putting their hands in and heads into crocodiles, so they do
So they,
tame them.
you know, they're gonna train me for 3 days, and once they feel that I'm comfortable with the crocodile, it's gonna be I'm gonna see crocodile open water, not through cage and everything.
Oh,
you
wow,
know.
that's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Well, one
though.
last
It's a little bit dangerous, yeah, but I'm gonna make it. I'm
Okay.
gonna do
One
it.
last thing which I want to ask at this point of time before we wrap up the segment, that is, what is the future of this photography?
You know, these things I'm doing specifically for Pakistan. I have no earnings so far. I put I spent a lot of money in 3 years, you know, in the ocean, like more than $30,000 in 3 years from my pocket. And I'm looking for a good sponsor. If somebody can sponsor me, you know, then I have so many things that undiscovered that should be discovered through professional eyes in underwater. And I want to see
That too
all
via
people,
Pakistan.
all my country people, they should watch that things that what's the beauty inside the ocean, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking for a good sponsor. If somebody can take care of me, and then definitely I'm gonna do so quickly.
Okay,
Very
excellent.
nice.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure discussing
Thank
this
you.
with you. And best of
Best of
luck
luck.
and be safe.
Thank you.
Don't get too confident with the crocodile. They're crazy. That's scary. But anyway, that was our Pakistani underwater photographer. And if you want any information about the career, about his journey, or any information about the segment, do write to us. But before we do that, before we move on to the next
One
segment.
last quick tip.
Yes.
And that is that God forbid if somebody thinks that you're a steak, make sure that you give up on the camera and save your own life.
It will be fine. So with that, we're going to go for a short break. And when you come back, we're going to change up the pace a bit and entertain you. Stay tuned.
Very nice. Good morning.
ancient city of Taxila is the heart of stonework in Pakistan. This art, which has been preserved and practiced for centuries, can be seen on many major landmarks of the country. Notably, the Pietra Dura work in the Lahore Fort's Sheesh Mahal.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for everybody who just got tuned into PT World. You watch it World this morning alongside Mohammed Maktoum and Shahzad Khan. And earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, we were in conversation with first ever Pakistani underwater photographer, cavern diver, and shark photographer as well. And that was a talent to be shared. And now that's what we're going to do once again. We're going to share raw talent, which actually needs a bit of attention and a bit of platform where they can express and elaborate or probably build upon their own capacity to entertain.
Absolutely. So let's get our conversation started because we've got two wonderful guests. And like Shahzad said, we're going to explore why they got into this, why they feel like they need to share their talent, and what is their talent exactly.
So ladies and gentlemen, on my right hand side, she studies in the 6th grade. Her name is Aisha Ahmer and she's a singer. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum Assalam, I'm very good. And I perform a lot of functions in Lok Virsa, and I'm a child star over there.
Thank you
Okay,
very
excellent.
much.
And we're going to get
are definitely a child star.
Absolutely, and we're going to ask you about your journey in a moment. And besides Aisha, we've been joined
by somebody who's a musician too as well, who released his first ever song on this Thursday, which just passed by, and he's getting some good, amazing feedback as well. The name of the song is Ek Bar. He's none other than Mr. Mirab Ali. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum Assalam, I'm fine, thanks.
Thank you for
very
joining
much
us
for joining
today.
us. But before we get into any other part of conversation, we would love to share the song. And the name of the song is Ek Bar.
Yep.
So go ahead. Can we do that? All right, I think what we're going to do is that we're going to play Aisha's first.
First
Let's
Aisha's
do it.
and then Mirab's.
In a moment.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that was Mirab Ali's first ever song, which was released on this Thursday, and the name of the song is Ek Bar. Good job done, bro.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely elaborate upon that as well, but now it's Aisha's turn. So Aisha, are you ready? Can we play your song?
Of course.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a listen.
Technical issues, but we will play it for you in a moment. But let's get the conversation started. So we'll start with Aisha. How did you get into singing, and when did you realize that you had a talent for singing?
It was my family support, first of all. Then my family said that you should just get into singing because there are very less people in Pakistan who are just like doing this. So my family said that it will be very unusual for a family and it will be very different for us. So I just got into it.
Okay. And how many years have you been, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
How many years have you been singing for?
It has only been 1 year.
Okay, excellent.
Wow.
And we
And
will be
you're
showing.
already releasing audios and videos, and that's cool. So how do you feel, because you perform at Lok Versa too, when people come up to you and say that, kid, you're doing a great job, how do you feel then?
First of all, very confident, but then I try to be not to be very proud. Then I also kept like in my school, all the teachers are saying to me that you've got a very unusual talent, so you should just like be humble with the people as well and not to be proud over it. And
So
Excellent.
you just want to keep your feet on the ground.
yes,
Excellent. Well done. And with that, let's take a look at the video and see a little bit of the talent.
I think he just wanted you to announce that, no?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's do it. For
Excellent.
somebody too young and resembling the voice of the legend, I think that this is something very mesmerizing and amazing to see
Amazing.
and watch early in the morning.
Absolutely.
But now let's move on to Meerup. So
Yes.
Meerup, why would you get into a field of this sort when you actually did your master's from abroad or bachelor's from abroad too, and you could have had any other career?
Actually, the thing is that I'm driven by passion, and it's very hard to let go of your passion, because it all started in the dorms of my university.
Okay.
But we made a band over there back in Melbourne, so we were performing, and I had to leave it.
Okay.
So the fact that I had to leave it is the fact that I'm doing it today. That I need to get that music out there.
Wonderful, and that passion is really good to see you committed to it as well. But now tell us a little bit about how you got into music and what led you to release this track.
I actually used to try everything in my summer holidays. Sometimes I would go on and learn skating. Sometimes I would read about bonsai.
Okay.
And that is how just I randomly picked music.
Okay.
And I just couldn't get out of it. So
How
with,
many years has it been?
about 5-6 years.
Okay,
Wow.
excellent.
And who do you listen to the most?
Janoon and Vital Signs and Pink Floyd.
Okay,
Wow.
excellent.
That's cool.
Interesting.
So can we hear something now?
Yeah,
live?
sure.
Excellent, and you brought your guitar with you. Perfect.
So Aisha, do you even play guitar, or do you play any other instrument?
no, I'm just trying to like play it, but not now.
Okay.
In days to
Your
come,
voice
that's
is your instrument.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wrote this song. I took a challenge to write about a certain topic.
Okay.
Right.
So I thought of as a couple breaking up, and what would their last conversation be like.
All right. Let's do it.
That's a dangerous topic to go into, I
Yeah.
guess.
याद है मुझे पहली दफा हम तुमसे जो मिले, रास्ते कठिन मंजिलें मुश्किल, हम दो हम सफर चले, तुम वो नहीं मैंने जिसे था प्यार किया, मैं बदला नहीं बदला समा, तुम समझो जरा. Okay, so this was the first half of the song.
Wow.
That was really nice.
तुम वो नहीं जिसको मैंने प्यार किया.
I was-
That was the last conversation if you're breaking
but I
up.
was thinking that's a really polite conversation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
that was
normally they
appropriate.
tend to be quite explicit. but
Because what I can assume of a last conversation is
It's
probably
not
quite a
gonna-
lot of abusing too.
that's
no?
what I was just thinking.
I have songs which
yelling.
describe that as well. They are,
Okay.
I composed those on electric guitar, and they're more a little mean. So
Okay,
I would not
excellent.
prefer
Yeah,
singing
that's
those.
probably along the lines of what we're probably used to hearing when people are ending. But anyway, now let's move on to Aisha. Do you have anything prepared for us today to sing?
Yes, of course. I
Okay.
can sing in 4 languages of Pakistan.
Amazing.
And in English as well, but I just prefer 4 main languages because other languages are quite difficult.
Okay.
So, and also the pronunciation.
Okay,
So
fair
which
enough.
4 languages?
Yeah.
Balochi, Punjabi,
Washmale,
Pashto,
Giayanu,
and Sindhi.
Barobar, Jadu Sutwa.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
We've
So
got another
which,
4
which,
hellos for the introduction.
in which language are you going to sing us a song?
I would prefer Pashto, but anything you want.
Whatever
Whatever
you're
you
comfortable
prefer.
with.
Okay, I'm going to sing Pashto song.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bibi Shiri, Bibi Shirini, Bibi Shirini, Zaire Goli, Raban Deva, Chavasun Shal, Jodalla Suna, Bibi Shirini, Bibi Shirini, Zaire Goli, Raban Deva, Chavasun Shal, Jodalla Suna, Bibi Shirini.
Excellent. That's right. I know my producer really likes that one.
Yeah, and I was about to ask her, who told you to sing a Pashto song?
No one, just my father is quite interested in Pashto.
Really?
So I also wanted, because Pashto music is quite different than
Absolutely.
other cultures. So
Yeah, absolutely, and it's important to highlight all the different provinces and all the music from all of that. And it's so wonderful that you sing in all these languages.
And with this, I
Thank
think
you.
we're going to head out towards one of your other performances as well. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, and let's check it out. Very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but we tend to experience a bit of technical difficulty.
Every now
And
and then,
we're going to try to fix it as well and then go back to the performance itself. But now, Mirab, let's move on to you. So, you want to be a musician, a full-time musician now? You want to have a job and a career and then do music side by side? How do you want your life to be?
I would prefer the latter. I'm actually looking for a job. I recently got done with my CSS examinations.
Okay,
and,
excellent.
Yeah, so now I'm
I
looking
think
for a
2
job.
or 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, but the thing is, you want to work, but you also want to continue with your music. But
Side by side, just to the point when it goes, I make a living out of it, I'll kick my job off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, in regard to you just performed, a verse of your music. Where do you find all the inspiration from? Because these days, either it's, we've discovered this. Either it's political or it's your personal stuff. There's no. I don't know where other inspiration would come from.
I think guitar itself is the inspiration. I just strike a chord, and there are so many moods in music that you can relate to. I strike a chord and I think about it, and I improvise the idea and refine it, and then I work on the music.
But God forbid, the statement which you just made,
Which
that
is?
if I come to a point where I can make a living out of it, I might quit my job. For somebody who just appeared in CSS examinations and makes it to their interview
No,
phase,
no.
let's say-
and they're like, okay, if you're going to be a CSP officer and you're going to quit your job, but you're going to be a singer, that'll be a
Well, to
difficult
be
one.
honest, any employer that will employ you shouldn't be watching TV right now because they should be in the office and doing their work. So you're fine. Don't worry about it. But on that note, can we ask you to perform? Do you have anything else prepared for us? That you said you strike a chord and you
Junoon.
find inspiration.
Junoon?
Yeah.
I prefer original.
Something from Junoon.
Something from
Okay.
Because you took inspiration from Junoon, right?
Unless you prepared something else. Then if you have, then you can perform
I have
that.
a lot of stuff prepared. So.
Okay.
So Junoon is fine.
Yeah,
He's
Junoon
cool.
is fine.
Okay, go from Junoon into an original. Can you do that?
Transition.
hard.
Can you do a transition?
Improvise.
hard.
Okay, you can try. Or maybe
let's
not. Don't worry about it.
Okay. दुनिया को ठुकराऊंगा तेरी मोहब्बत में मैं सबसे टकराऊंगा तारे भी ले आऊंगा मैं आसमानों से बोलेगी तो चंदा भी ले आऊंगा ये नहीं हो सकेगा कभी इतना पागल मैं नहीं तू हंसी है मगर हाँ ये तो कुछ भी नहीं सजना सजना इतना भी हूँ कब दीवाना सजना सजना जा सजना सजना ऐसा कब हूँ जैसा हूँ मैं सजना सजना जा
Excellent. You guys are so good.
I mean, I seriously have no words to express how I feel right now.
That's
Because
amazing.
after a long, long time, I actually have seen somebody emerging as an amazing talent as well.
It's excellent.
And,
Very
and,
good.
and that is fabulous. And both of you, I think, are doing a great job
Absolutely.
too as well.
And I'd now like to I'd like to ask Aisha, could you perform another piece for us, but in another dialect?
Language.
In English or like
No, no, no.
other?
And, I mean, I think another provincial language. Which one? do you
I think let's not go for provincial. Let's go for our national language, Urdu.
Urdu? Do you have
I
anything
think
in
that's
Urdu?
going to be better. Let's do it all together.
Do you have anything prepared in
Yeah.
Urdu?
Urdu? Yeah, I don't sing Urdu in Log Virsa, but I have prepared.
Yeah. go
Whatever
ahead.
you're comfortable with. Do whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, I'm going to sing a song of Noor Jahan.
Go ahead.
Because like I
Because
want
your
to
voice resembles her too as well.
So it's a Sada Hoon Apne Pyar Ki, so I'm just
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
great.
two, three. सदा हूँ अपने प्यार की सदा हूँ अपने प्यार की जहाँ से बेनियाज हूँ किसी पे जो न खुल सके वो जिंदगी का राज हूँ सदा हूँ अपने प्यार की
Very nice.
Very
Beautiful. And
you.
you have to keep on going, keep rocking your journey, keep on studying alongside. All
Yes,
the best for your
please.
future endeavors. Same goes for you, Mirab. You're doing a great job.
Wonderful. It's an absolute pleasure to have both of you guys on the
Thank
show.
you so
And
much.
it was really good performances, guys.
And keep on rocking.
Yeah, excellent. And with that, guys, we would like to, lately we've been showcasing a lot of talent within Pakistan. And, we've been really lucky. Even last week, we had some wonderful guests, and they were very good.
Imagine,
as well.
just look at us.
But anyway, I'm talking about singers, man. But anyway, if you want any information on our guests, you want to get in touch with any of them, do log on to our Facebook fan
Which
page,
is with the name of World This
our
Morning.
Twitter page,
World This Morning without a G.
our Daily Motion YouTube page.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
And don't forget the message that Shazad gave. Be careful when you go out and eat. There are different viruses and different kind of strains of illnesses out there, so do look after yourself.
Exactly. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good
Good morning.
morning.